Welcome to CarSceneKorea. I am DK Kim, your source for latest Genesis, Hyundai, and Kia cars. The car I am test driving, I should say the cars, is 2026 all-new Kia Seltos, the second generation that has been completely changed inside out, and I am currently test driving 1.6 turbo gasoline hooked up together with 8-speed automatic. And on my way back, I will be driving 1.6 hybrid hooked up together with NA, naturally aspirated engine, with 6-speed DCT. So those two alone are super big difference, which will give quite different driving sensations, but I'll find that out myself momentarily. For the record, I actually already have been driving this gasoline model for the past 1 hour and 30 minutes together with my wife DumA, doing reviews in Korean. I post Korean reviews first, followed by this English review. I don't necessarily repeat exactly what I did in the previous video, so it will be helpful for you to also check the Korean version out if you are in the market looking for gasoline Seltos or hybrid Seltos. For the past 1 hour and 30 minutes, I drove 72 kilometers, yielding 12.2 kilometers per liter. If you are my regular, you know that I am the worst person when it comes to the battery fuel economy, and this Seltos was no exception because I was busy flooring the car, testing out 0 to 100 kilometers, which is 0 to 62 miles per hour, and also doing some spirited runs because one of the features that this Seltos got for the first time ever in entire Hyundai Motor Group is that it offers the manual drive mode. It's different because it actually really locks the car's gear into manual mode. I mean, I'll show it to you again right now, which you can access by rotating the manual lever as I just did. So watch. It's not gonna upshift unless I tell it to do so. Before, the car was very conservative and it just didn't want to do what I asked the car to do, but it's not the case with the manual override mode. Of course, there is the physical time required for the car to downshift and upshift, but it's certainly much faster than what we have been experiencing with this level of engine and transmission choices. I'll tell you more about it after I get in the hybrid, because the things that I just told you immediately are the very differences I have to point out. The fuel economy, the responsiveness, and engine feeling and sensation. However, some of the common traits these two cars will have for sure is the NVH, noise, vibration, and harshness, because both of the cars got dual laminated acoustic glasses on the first row, and both of the first and second row got thicker windows compared to the previous generations. I don't know if you noticed, but I do have a smartphone app measuring the noise level inside the cabin. I know it's not the most accurate one we can get, but it can provide some objective figures under the similar conditions. I'll try to pull out the footage that I shot cruising at 100 kilometers per hour in the tunnel on the second lane. It's very serene, cozy, and comfortable. Pardon me about my wife DumA. She suffers severe motion sickness and she actually just finished doing a 1 hour review, so she is completely knocked out. And as for the vibration, this all-new Seltos is using the latest bushing from Hyundai Motor Group called Hydro G bushing, which is also found in latest Hyundai Motor Group cars, but it's very surprising to see that because once again, Seltos is the entry-level CUV from Kia cars, at least here in Korea. I know there used to be Sonnet and Stonic. What we got with this all-new Seltos is more than surprising. It's jaw-dropping, to be honest. That's what my DumA also said, because if you didn't know, we actually daily drive a Seltos first generation with a 7-speed DCT that we have been driving for the past 5 years, putting 35,000 kilometers. And we also brought that car over here today for the drive event, of course. A bit of off-roady parking lot, as you can see, but very quiet, comfortable. Even these ditches and potholes, oh my god, it's very, very comfortable. So I'll cover more about it on my way back because I need to switch over to the hybrid now. Check out these surround view cams and monitors. Absolutely love that wide 180-degree front view cam that allows you to see what you don't see physically with your eyes. I did also check it out earlier. I could actually see a pylon that I could not see. And also it really made a day and night difference when I was getting out of the underground parking lot in a tight parking lot area. Not to mention about that BVM blind spot view monitor. The list just goes on and on and on. Let's switch over to the hybrid. But why don't we start with the 0 to 100 kilometers, the performance that this car's got. Let's go.
얘 우리 셀토스랑 소리가 다른데?
8.7초. And look at that, Spider-Man theme. You can also get National Geographics and Marvel, you just saw, and also Pixar. I believe there's also NBA and Disney too. And I am now test driving 2026 all-new Kia Seltos Hybrid. And for the hybrid, there is only two-wheel drive choice. There's no all-wheel drive for hybrid, unfortunately. The car gets multi-link on the rear, and immediate differences I did point out between the gasoline and hybrid was that the hybrid actually has less of the trunk space underneath the trunk compartment due to the nature being. Because the hybrid has batteries underneath the trunk. The difference you might say is a little subtle. No, actually it's quite big because you're actually able to dive the trunk compartment for the gasoline, whereas you only have hidden storage underneath the hybrid trunk. So other than that, there's not that much of a difference when it comes to the exterior looks differences. It's been a while since Hyundai Motor Group deviated from discriminating the different powertrains. So except for the badge you get at the back of the car, there's no difference. It doesn't say hybrid, it doesn't say gasoline turbo, no, none of that. However, it's slightly more evident once you step inside. As you can see, there is only drive mode button in the middle, which gives you eco and sport option, and that is it. The car only is offered in front-wheel drive, therefore there is no terrain modes, unlike the all-wheel drive that I've tested with the gasoline model. And I want to test out the manual mode. You have to hold the lever in order to go into the manual, just like that. And in order to disable it, just hit it one more time. Easy as that. 4, 3. All right, so that's the maximum. As you can see, it is more responsive than when I am in automatic for sure, but it's slightly less responsive than what I've gotten from the gasoline model. Most likely it is the transmission difference, and also since we're on the freeway and we're at the high RPM, it's in 8 speed's favor in order for you to play around with the gear selections. Choices of 8 versus choice of 6. Nothing too different, however, I gotta give it to the gasoline model on this one. I am in another Seltos in a different outfit. I actually ran out of time yesterday because I came up with an hour-long video together with my wife DumA. Most of the differences actually arise from the fact that each of the car comes with a different powertrain. 1.6 turbo gasoline hooked up together with 8-speed automatic, the hybrid coming with 1.6 naturally aspirated engine with 6-speed DCT, dual clutch transmission. So I want to get started off with NVH, noise, vibration, and harshness. So both of the cars were very quiet compared to my current Seltos, the first generation Seltos, because both of the cars get thicker windows on the first row and the second row windows, providing more serene environment inside the cabin. Speaking of the windows, the car also comes with HUD heads-up display that is directly projected to the windshield, unlike the combiner type that the early Seltos came with. I am perfectly fine and happy with the combiner type HUD. It is certainly much better than not having it. However, it just cannot beat the original heads-up display projected right onto the windshield. Something I must address with the hybrid model is the car comes with Smart Regen 3.0 for the first time ever in Hyundai Motor Group amongst hybrid cars. I know you heard a lot of first time ever in this video today, but that's exactly what the Seltos has. If you want to know all about it, feel free to check out my EV3 video. So it's not the iPedal. It recognizes the vehicle in front of you, slows the car down, and also stops the car if necessary. And it really helps you with the rush hour stress where there is consistent stops and goes, something that I need right now. You see, I have no choice but to jump around my accelerator and foot brake here, but you don't need to do that with Seltos Hybrid. It truly is groundbreaking. I honestly thought it was only reserved for EVs up until today. We are still in the NVH category. Hybrid was more quieter. DumA and I could notice that immediately the moment we stepped inside. And I've also put half empty water bottle on the second row seat in the exact same position. So you can actually kind of check out how the water is doing back there. Again, I know it's not the most scientific way. However, it certainly does help. I do have the time-lapse recording of the both. You actually get the idea and feel of it. However, the difference between the two should be quite marginal because the all-new Seltos gets McPherson front suspension and multi-links on the rear. You get the torsion bar on the rear if you go with two-wheel drive gasoline, however. So except for the physical differences gasoline and hybrid gets, such as 100 kilograms of weight difference, gasoline being lighter, and less of the trunk space on the rear for the hybrid because it has batteries and more components inside. Rest of the cars are almost, if not identical. However, there is the biggest difference, of course, the fuel economy. I did get 17.5 kilometers per liter of fuel economy with the hybrid, which was slightly under from the mixed fuel suggested by Kia, but the blame is the car being driven mostly on freeway, which is not the ideal condition for hybrids to get the best fuel economy. Same for gasoline. I did not get the suggested fuel economy, but blame is on me for that one because I hardly ever never get the suggested fuel economy nor battery efficiency. So once again, the blame is on me, but I was quite there with that number, which was very surprising. Both of the cars did amazing work going over unpaved, uneven areas and roads. However, uniquely to hybrid is utilizing the motor to aid with the better ride and handling overall, which certainly did contribute to different drive and handling sensation. Summing up the NVH, I honestly could not complain a thing from neither of Seltos, gasoline and hybrid, because it is one of the best experience I had, judging by the fact that Kia Seltos is an entry CUV and also the price we pay for that car. There is another feature for the first time. Yes, I know, for the first time again, the Vibro sound seat. I think the name itself explains the feature. It vibrates along with the music you play, and we've tested out a variety of genre of the music from K-pop, house, techno. It did a fabulous job given the right perfect bass. Oh, I didn't tell you what it is about. Both of the first row seats, driver and the shotgun, has the vibrating component, two right underneath your thigh or against the thigh, and two more against your lower back. So the simple question to that seat being worth the money, the answer is 100% yes. And it was a yes from DumA, even who doesn't even listen to music. If you ever have spent any time inside your car, pumping up the volume, just being yourself, listening to the music, enjoying it, I strongly urge you to include that option because it's worth every penny. If you know, you know, but it did remind me of modifying or upgrading your car back in the good old days by having the bigger woofer in the trunk. It is almost there with that level for the fraction of money you pay. And also, it's Kia genuine, it's under warranty, and Kia's got you covered. And lastly, for the Hybrid Seltos, there are hybrid exclusive features such as V2L, vehicle to load. It's not even offered in bigger brother Sorento, together with Stay Mode that was first introduced with Hyundai Palisade Hybrid. Stay Mode allows you to use the car just like an EV, where the car will shut the engine off and use the batteries only, where you can run the AC and also charge electronic devices inside the vehicle. And the hybrid technology utilizing the motor to control the vehicle dynamics movement is called E-VMC. And here is my final overall verdict. The all-new Seltos has gotten bigger on the exterior, together with longer wheelbase that has been converted into larger trunk and legroom in the second row, together with multiple reclining controls for the second row seat, and so many techs and features that's been introduced for the first time ever on the Seltos. You know what I'm gonna say now: Vibro sound seat, V2L, Stay Mode, RSPA, remote smart parking assist. The list just goes on and on. You know, I have been doing a lot of reviews and making videos. I mean, that's my job. This all new Seltos is the first car ever that I have done an intensive review like this because I had no choice but to. I know these features are not rocket science. Seltos got all these that bigger brother Sorento didn't even get. Fingers crossed you'll get both of these two cars because they truly are great in each of their category. Drop in the comment below what you think about this all-new Seltos. If you don't mind, please go watch my Korean review too. All of my Korean videos and also English videos do come with subtitles, so you shouldn't really have much problem going through the video. I did go over literally everything about the car in that video together with DumA. So hopefully I'll see you over there too. Bye bye.